right now we are really honored to have our next guest. This is a phenomenal movie. We've seen it so many times, 2 or 3 at least, called Broken Memories. We've had several of the cast members, and joining us right now is the lead actor, Rance Howard. Rance, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing this morning?
I am great. And of course, we met you up at the Sedona International Film Festival. You're just a gem of a human being, and you played your role so well in Broken Memories. We really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. So, are you Joseph?
I am Dave. Joseph is not here today.
Okay, you're Dave.
Yeah. Joseph wasn't at Sedona with us.
Yeah.
I'm Trisha. I'm the one who gave you the Scorpio hug.
Oh, yeah, Trish. Yeah, hi.
Hello.
But we really...
well, hey, great to talk to you guys.
Yeah, and this was such a phenomenal movie, and I think the way you described it, it was only shot in, 12 days?
That's right.
I don't even know how that's possible, because such a beautiful movie. The dialogue, and it was so well written. And, of course, you want to describe a little bit of what the movie's about for our listeners?
Well, sure. It's primarily about an old man who has Alzheimer's disease, and he lives on this farm where he's always been, and he lives there with his son, and he has a tendency to sort of wander off and get lost. Yeah. Or wander off and do things that frighten his son and other people. They're afraid that something will happen to him. And so his sister is always after him to get some help to look after their father. Father's name, that's me. I'm Jasper.
That's right.
Jasper Jeffries. And so, okay, finally they do hire some help. The help turns out to be a beautiful young woman who Jasper mistakes for his late wife.
Yeah.
He sees her, and this sort of catapults the story into action.
Well, I thought it was a real healing movie because your relationship with Levi, your son, played by Ivan Sergey, what a great actor he is as well.
He is fantastic.
Oh, man, you guys together, what incredible. But the healing on the big screen was phenomenal. Of course, Maggie, played by Kelly Grayson.
Yeah.
Is she gorgeous and talented?
Really beautiful, but also your relationship with her on the big screen was equally as healing and phenomenal. She taught the whole family about, it's not about their reality. It's about, in your case, it's about your reality, what you thought
That's
the
right.
world was.
Exactly. Yeah. And with Kelly and with Levi and Serena, it was Serena. It plays my daughter in the movie.
That's right,
Sarah. And there's some conflict there between them. But it's you were just saying, how did that work? How did we get that into a 12-minute
or 12-day
slot?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was the director, Michael Worth. He had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
He was so well prepared. He knew exactly the shots he wanted, and he was really well prepared. And of course, then Ivan and I, we just worked together like we'd been working together all of our lives.
Yeah,
it
fit in perfectly. I got to tell you, it's such a great movie. What's going on with the movie? Is it going to be distributed, do you know, or how's that working?
Well, definitely it will be distributed, and they're working on trying to find the right distributor, the person who will distribute this film properly and get it out there to the public, and it just it hasn't happened yet. We're down to, I mean, the film has been made, all the creative work has been done. Now we're in the businessman's arena.
That's right.
And
it's a whole different thing.
Sometimes business moves very slowly.
Yeah, well, this is definitely worth seeing. And again, you've had such a great career yourself, acting in so many movies. And of course, we should probably mention that, of course, you have quite a famous family, including one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Little Opie Taylor in the Andy Griffith Show. Man, Ron Howard, you got to be so proud of them. And your daughter, too, in Jurassic World. And,
that's granddaughter. That's his granddaughter.
I mean, the granddaughter.
And then his
that's
other
right.
son, yeah.
You know,
Walter.
well, I am very proud of both of them, but I'm you know what, I think the word is I'm more happy for them.
Yeah.
Because they have found their way, we're doing what they want to do, and they're succeeding at it. And I had no kind of Svengali effect on them. They did this on their own. They just, Ron especially, like when he was young, he decided he wanted to be a filmmaker, and the Andy Griffith and Aaron Rubin, the producer on the Andy Griffith Show, for one of his birthdays, his early birthday, maybe an 8th or a 9th birthday, they gave him a little 8mm camera.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah. And he started running film through that little camera, when he was really young. And also the Andy Griffith Show, the wonderful thing about it, well, it was a great growing place for Ron. He learned things working on that show that today he probably doesn't even know he knows. Like he would ask, like, the cinematographer, an old guy named Sid Hickox, "Mr. Hickox, why is this light here?" And Mr. Hickox would say, "Jump up here on the camera, Ron, and I'll show you."
That is amazing. At such a young age, how would he even know to ask that question?
Well, I don't know. It was a pretty incredible thing to watch, and just amazing. And Bob Sweeney, the director, Ron would ask him questions, and he would answer. He'd take time and answer the questions, and so as a result, he was going to school. He had on the job training there.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was a wonderful atmosphere for him to develop in and grow up in, and he worked on that show for 8 years.
Oh man.
So yeah, and anyway, it was terrific. But that's not what you wanted to talk about.
Well, but I do want to say that kind of brings us full circle, because you did such a phenomenal job raising your children. Now we see these child actors that just kind of go off the rails as they get older. They don't have anybody, to give them that grounding. And a lot of what you did, I think, helped for both of your sons to do so well, and for them to be good role models for their children, so that this legacy that you're the patriarch of can continue in the manner that it has. And one of the things that I really took home seeing you with the cast of Broken Memories was just that feeling of family that you had, and that had developed between all of you, that was just palpable there, even from the youngest little starlet that plays Kelly's daughter.
Yes.
It was just amazing, just that camaraderie, that feeling of love and family. And I know there's a lot of reasons behind that, but I think the majority of it is you and your personality and the way that you are so open, genuine, caring, loving, and humble that it just, everybody, I felt like, oh, I just love Rance Howard. I just met him, but I feel like I know him. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. I'm glad that came across. I just brought that with me into the film. That's the way. That's actually my life. And so as a result, it worked for this film just perfectly.
Well, and you're talking about your life, and I don't want to bring sadness, but it also, to me, shows so much love, and that is that things kind of happened in the reverse for you. You did Broken Memories, the film, and then right after that, your wife was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and
I think it was before the film. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes. That was a very difficult thing. We when she was diagnosed with that, and it was Alzheimer's is just a disease that there's no cure for. There's really not much help for. You just live with it. And as her caregiver, I think I helped her live with it, pretty well. She managed with it she had it, I guess, for 4 years, and she managed with it really, really well until probably about the last 6 months when it started really closing in on her.
Yeah, that's got to be really difficult and challenging.
Well, Cassie had mentioned that sometimes we see art imitating life, and in this case, it was life happening after art. How do you feel your experience playing a person with dementia? How did that help you at all in the way that you dealt with that?
Yes, I believe it did. Actually, Judy's mother had Alzheimer's, and so I had that experience, and that experience also, if I may say, helped me a lot as a caregiver for Judy. It was like, well, this is what you have to deal with, and this is what you expect, and I don't know. I hope that I was an adequate caregiver because Judy was just a wonderful patient. She didn't do any of the things that you read about obstinate people who were victims of that disease.
Yeah.
Do, and she was just always really gracious and cheerful. She was always in our lives a cheerleader.
Wow.
And she was, I got to tell you, she was a cheerleader right up to the very end. And I'll share this with you. Well, I was with her, and her two daughters had come to visit, and we were right beside her bed, and we were standing there talking, and I looked down, and she had a big smile on her face. but she had stopped breathing.
Oh,
she had left the planet right there. We were right beside her, and she was gone.
Wow! But what a blessing!
But to make that exit, with this beautiful smile.
Yeah.
It just knocked me out.
Yeah, that's quite a story, and it really shows the heart and compassion you have, and the heart and compassion you brought to this phenomenal film, Broken Memories. I think everyone should see it. It has a great message, but you give such. I mean, my personal opinion, Rance, is you give so much joy to people, and we appreciate that about you.
Well, I love to do that. I must say I love acting. It is not work. It's play. I just absolutely love it. And if I can do something to help people or bring a little joy or comfort or something to people, it just gives me that much more. That's that much more happiness.
Well, Rance, thank you so much for calling in. We'd love to have you on again. We think the world of you. And again, Broken Memories, get out there, watch for the distribution, go see this movie. It is A+, no doubt about it.
And it is uplifting.
It is.
Such a horrible topic. It is very uplifting and a beautiful, beautiful film. And Rance, you did a phenomenal, phenomenal job.
Well, thank you. Just in closing, let me say that I don't want to take all the credit for Ron having such a success and his brother Clint. My late wife, Jean, who I was married to for 52 years before I married Judy, she must share in those boys' success, and they're good guys.
Yeah.
And she should step up and take a bow now.
Well, Rance, thank you so much for calling in. We'll talk again soon, and Broken Memories is the movie. Rance Howard, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I really enjoyed talking.